Hello, Pisces. Welcome and welcome back. Okay, y'all, I got a channel message in the most ironic, hilarious way. Like it just tickled me so much when I got this channel message, and immediately I knew it was for you guys because it's like when I know that a message is for a specific person or a specific group, they tell me this is what blank needs to know. Like, this is what Pisces needs to know. This is what the collective needs to know. This is what people in love need to know. This is what your friend so-and-so needs to know. And it's like that. So let me tell y'all what happened, because I'm going to read off to you the words and the phrases that Spirit gave me for this channel message and what happened. So I was sitting. Okay, first let me read the words. They telling me to read it first. All right, y'all be sure to like and subscribe, okay, to continue to catch the vibe, hype up the video, do what you can to support the channel. And you see this Seven of Pentacles here with the Archangel Michael card. We'll get into it, okay? So the message is no turn on red, scapegoat, red light, green light, yellow light, hey, okay, spotlight, the number 33, wipe me down, they're watching you. You'll make it to your destination safely. Legalities and illegalities, which I didn't know was a word, if it is a word, and slipping through the cracks. You just know, okay? So whatever came to mind when I said those things, Pisces, that is what Spirit wants you to know. Whichever phrase or word or number popped out, most of all, that may be the part of the message that's for you, okay? Now, let me tell you what happened. Because y'all know I always come with a story, child. But that's how Spirit speaks to me. They show me images, stories, themes, pictures, all that type of stuff. So basically, I was going to run a quick errand. I wanted to get some more cucumbers because I've been on this whole cucumber thing with the vinegar. Child, I'm addicted right now to the cucumbers with the vinegar. And it's a healthy snack that I could just munch on, because in case my oral fixation starts to act up, then I can have something to munch on so I'm not eating unhealthy foods. So I went to go get some more cucumbers before the bus came from my youngest. And I was like, okay, because I didn't want to be late for the bus, but I had plenty of time. I just, because everything that's been going on with these buses, child, understandably, has given me a little bit of trauma. But I was sitting at the light, and at this particular light, there's a sign not only on the side of the road, but on the actual light in front of you that says no turn on red, right? And I know it says no turn on red, and there have been times where I forgot that it said no turn on red, and I was about to turn, and then I was like, oh yeah, no turn on red. And then I got this weird sensation. There were no cars behind me, but a car was coming towards me. And I got this weird sensation of, ooh, let me go so that they can go. Let me go because they're going to rush me. Let me go before they beep at me. But it wasn't reality, right? It wasn't like a true representation of the sequence of events, because the car hadn't approached me yet. They weren't beeping at me. They weren't flashing their lights at me. And there was nothing pushing me to go. It was just this thought, this urge, this inclination that I wanted to go make the turn, even though it said no turn on red. This was not like a dangerous turn. It's just a right turn. But because of the way that the road is set up and the way that history has presented itself, they put the sign there because sometimes people aren't paying attention. They aren't looking. And there's someone who could be coming out of one of the businesses that could cause a problem. It could cause an accident. So therefore the sign is there. I was confused. Like it was so strange, because it's like before the sequence of events took place, Spirit told me that this message was for y'all. And then everything started to play out. So that could be a message in itself. However, I got this urge to go, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. The light says no turn on red. That's what the signage says. And I don't want to be that one person who gets in a predicament where I'm not following what the traffic directions say, and then something happens. Because in my mind, it's like spirit was setting it up to prove a point or to make a point when it comes to that particular situation. So I decided to stay sitting there, but I was very anxious. I was very nervous. I felt this weird, like, shaky anxiety within me of, well, what if somebody gets upset that I'm sitting here? What if somebody starts to beep at me? What if somebody is mad that I'm not going to turn? And I had to tell myself, fuck that. Okay. Because why would I be worried about what someone else wants if it were to put me at a detriment? That's a message, right? That's what moves us on to the scapegoat energy. Because I was feeling, because of history of me sitting at that light, there have been times. So there was a valid reason why I felt that anxiety, because there have been times where I sat at that light and approached that light and I was the first one in line. And there were people that were beeping at me, or cars back in the back that were beeping at me to go. And it made me feel under pressure, or it made me feel that anxiety. Now, the scapegoat energy is exactly what it is, because in my mind, as I was sitting there, I'm like, well, what if the police are in the gas station right here? What if the police are in the shopping plaza? What if they see me turn on red when I'm not supposed to turn on red? And it gave me this feeling that there could be a person, Pisces, who wants you to possibly break the law, but I don't think it's about the law. This description box has the disclaimer, okay? But there could be someone who wants you to be their scapegoat. There could be someone who wants you to take the fall for something, or be the first one to do something. Or there could be someone who's trying to trigger you or provoke you. That's what it really is. It's provocation. There's someone who wants to provoke you into doing something that may not be in your best interest, or it could be something that you don't want to do. It doesn't have to be illegal, but it could be something that could get you in more hot water or in more trouble than what you need. It's like somebody wants you to be the first motherfucker to jump in the frying pan to see if you sizzle, to see if grease is hot. Okay. And I don't think that spirit wants you to do that. And I feel like they want to let you know about this so that you can be prepared for the pressure and the possible anxiety and the triggering emotions that you may feel by standing firm. And I was given the image as I was sitting there, and I'm telling you, this is just happening in a few seconds. I'm giving you the images that they gave me, which is of a person standing at the edge of a cliff, and their arms were outstretched, like kind of like, like Boys to Men and Jodeci and them used to do, like, outstretching their arms. And it's like they're holding on to like two ropes, one rope in this hand, one rope in that hand. And they're just being stretched, like the ropes are connected to trees or something. And they're on the edge of this cliff holding on to these ropes. And it's easy at first because there's nobody really behind you. But as the pressure begins to build and build and build, it's like you get stretched further and further and further, because people keep pushing on those ropes and pushing on the trees and pushing on you to just jump off the cliff, metaphorically. So it's like you're now starting to get stretched outwardly and more outwardly with your arms. That's the image that they gave me. And in my mind, it's like, no, I kept feeling this energy of spirit wanting you to keep your resolve, wanting you to hold on, not to let go, not to let those ropes slip, not to crumble or cave under pressure, to jump off the cliff just because those people are trying to provoke you or trying to pressure you or trying to push you off. So then I looked up, kid you not, I looked up, and right at the intersection adjacent to me, I don't know if that's correct, but at the opposite intersection right in front was a police officer. Bitch, I kid you not. I looked up and I said, I know you lying. So if I would have taken that turn, because there were no cars, no traffic was coming, it looked like it was clear for me to go. Like I could have literally made that turn and I wouldn't have caused any problems, because no traffic was coming this way, because I was making a right turn. No traffic was coming this way, but the police officer was sitting over here getting ready to make a left turn. If I would have made that turn and that police officer would have been paying attention, knowing what was going on, knowing the traffic stop, They could have just easily cut on their lights, cut on their sirens, bust that U-turn and pulled me over. Right? But I didn't curve or crumble under pressure. And I stayed there. And then all of a sudden, I looked down at my gas gauge. And my gas gauge tells me how many miles left I have to drive based on how much gas I have in my tank. And I needed to get some gas too. And that bitch was on 33. Okay. Listen, I looked up and saw the police. I said, now ain't that bad a bitch? And then immediately looked down and it's flashing because of course I need to get gas, but it's flashing on 33. And then what happens? The light turned green. That's not it. Okay. Just let me cook. Okay. I get past the light after it turns green. I make my right turn. I get to the next intersection. And I'm telling you, I don't know how long that police officer was sitting there at the first intersection, but I did not see. I was looking straight and I was looking to the side and I did not. He was in my vantage point. He must have creeped up. It's like he just appeared out of nowhere. So I made my turn. I get to the next intersection. There are times where, you know, when the yellow light is when it's green and I'm coming too fast and I can't stop. Then the yellow light turns on as soon as I'm going through the intersection. It is what it is. But this time, I'm halfway to the intersection. I could buck it. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I could buck it. But it would be cutting it close. Because technically, at least according to what I was told from lawmakers, okay, is that if you go through the yellow light while it's yellow before it turns red and you make it to the other part of the intersection that is like portioned off, then you're not really liable for a ticket. Now, I'm not a lawyer, doctor, or psychologist. So again, disclaimer is below. Follow the law. But that's what I was told by police officers that have either pulled me over or I've gotten pulled over when other people were driving or, you know, just what I've learned dealing with the justice system when it comes to traffic law. Okay, I digress. The light is yellow already. I'm not that close. And I still have time to slow down. It's so crazy how fast it happened, but how slow. It's like how spirit wanted me to process this. So I'm looking at the light. I'm questioning. The question is presented. Either, you know, buck it or start to slow down and do the right thing, right? I said, you know what? There was a car in front of me. They were obviously going to buck it because they could. They were already going at a certain speed. They couldn't really stop. I was like, no, I'm going to slow down. The car that was in the lane next to me was ahead of me. I started to slow down. I see them putting their foot on the brakes to where their brake lights come on, which is confirmation. Good. You slowed down. It was like this sequence of events. I get there. I couldn't see the intersection again until I got right up on it. I said, I'm slowing down. Boom. They slow down. Confirmation. Boom. I stop at the light. Another fucking police officer sitting in the same way, like it to the right of me in the intersection, which if they saw me run that light, they could have easily cut on their sirens, cut on their lights, bust a right turn and pull my ass over. So now this is twice. That's where the red light, green light, yellow light. Okay. Wipe Me Down is the song that comes from. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on, cause I'm on, cause I'm on. Hey, shoulders, chest, pants, shoes. Shoulders, chest, pants, shoes. Look at the screen. 35. Okay. Archangel Michael coming through. Protection. Root chakra energy. At your core, at the base of your core. Okay. In your bones, in your soul, in your spirit, in your skin, in your flesh. You feel it. Right? So this is 2 times. Now I continue to go forward and I get to my destination safely. I did not get pulled over. I didn't get into no wrecks or accidents. And I immediately started writing down what I heard. Okay. That's where the spotlight comes from. Okay. There's a spotlight being put on you. Making it to your destination safely. The decisions that you're going to make. What are you going to choose? They are watching you because you're under this microscope. You're under this spotlight. You're under this close observation. And it may not be from someone negative, y'all. It could be from, your spirit team, or from source, from God, the universe, whoever you pray to, whatever you believe in. Okay? And with the legalities and illegalities and slipping through the cracks, there's a part of this where I can't tell you about your life. You know about your life. But there's a part of this where it's like, if you bust the wrong turn, or if you make the wrong move, or if you buck the wrong yellow light, it's like there's going to be a higher level of scrutiny on you because of who you are. And I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying that you should feel like it's fair or that it's, balanced or ethical in your opinion. But this is what Spirit wants you to know, because, they want you to be prepared. They want to set you up for success. And because of the fact that it may not be fair in some of your situations, they're giving you an advantage. Okay? Something that was kind of like stopped or stagnant felt like it was about to move forward. Okay, red light to green light. And then all of a sudden you're going with all this momentum, and then it feels like something is slowing you down. That is not a punishment. That is protection. Spirit wants you to be very patient in a situation and allow for things to unfold the way they're meant to unfold. They don't want you to force the situation. And deep within you, intuitively and instinctively, I feel like you guys know. You know. You just know. And that's what it is. And you know that because of something that's going on that could be a little fishy, or that could be a little questionable, or that may not be completely on the level, either because of something that someone else is doing or because of something that you're doing, you have to heed these warnings. Because there could be a situation right now where you're slipping through the cracks in a situation and it's working to your advantage, and it kind of feels like something that could be looked at negatively or could be deemed as against what should be done, but you're doing it. But I feel like you're doing it because somebody is forcing you to have to do it. It's kind of like a situation where you cut corners, or I'm trying to articulate it properly. I don't want to say it's legal or illegal, because I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell you what's legal or illegal. But there's something that's a little questionable that you're kind of being forced to do because someone else is being malicious and forcing you kind of into a position where you have to make a tough decision to do something that you wouldn't normally want to do, but that you feel you have to do, and that you may actually literally have to do because you're in the predicament that you're in. And Spirit is saying like, hey, first of all, don't feel guilty about what you feel like you have to do. Don't allow the fear to make you think that you have to take risks that you don't need to take. But if there are risks that you know you need to take because you don't have another choice, they don't want you to beat yourself up or feel guilty about those risks that you need to take. But they also don't want you to skate around like you ain't got no fire on your ass. Okay? If y'all get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. And that's what this message is. It's like if somebody's trying to rush you, Spirit is slowing things down so that you can make better decisions in a high stakes situation. If someone is trying to manipulate you or cause an issue with your finances or your progression or, whatever it is that you're working towards achieving, Spirit is slowing it down so that you can pinpoint, bop over there, pull it, bop over there, pull it. Bop over there, pull it, mix it together, mold it together, and then pew, take off. Right? That's what I feel like they wanted you to know. And when I pulled out the decks that I wanted to use, specifically in the tarot deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is technically Taurus, I believe. Yeah. So Taurus energy could be significant, right? Seven of Pentacles could definitely, especially in this deck, talk about planting seeds, nurturing those seeds that you plant, you know, giving them the light, okay, because the light is coming out of his hand, giving them the light and the energy and the nutrients that they need to thrive, and being patient and allowing them to grow, right? We got all this fucking big ass, big back processed chicken because they're giving the chickens things that are, you know, breaking their bones down. And when you get your chicken from the store, all the bones is cracking and breaking in the meat because they're rushing the chicken's growth process. Okay, allegedly. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Also, when you get anything else like produce, things like that, it's like that rushing can cause something to be brittle. It can cause a situation to be very weak. It can cause a lack of stability or instability with whatever it is that you want to thrive or flourish. So they want you to understand that these gestational periods that you are in and these things that you are kind of navigating through at this time require different levels of care, nourishment, and speed at which they develop. So whatever it is that you feel like could be delayed, or whatever it is that you feel like started to move quickly and now slowing down again, they want you to know, coupling it with this Archangel Michael card that just happened to come up as I shuffle, that this is a part of the process. This is a part of the sequence of events. And they're doing this to protect you. It says protection, prevented from harm, and divine intervention. That's what's going on. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, I had to share that with you guys because it was funny. Like, I was legit cracking up because not only did Spirit tell me that this was for y'all, but they also said, watch what I do. Watch me work. Let me cook, bitch. Okay? Because I'm about to show you something. And with that 33, it's like, this is going to lead to the finalization of a lot of these things that are going on, that are putting you in these predicaments to make you feel like you have to do things that are a little questionable. This is leading to the mastery and the completion of the lessons that you need to learn in this particular cycle of your life. So if you rush through it, especially at these ending stages, and you don't pay attention and allow Spirit to slow it down so you can bop, 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 and put all the pieces together so it makes sense, then you're going to miss vital and important information that you need to know that can help prevent you from being in situations like this or overreacting to situations that could come up that resemble these things in the future. Let's go. Y'all, please be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. We don't be playing no games over here. Shout out to all my members. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to all my people who help the channel out and all the things you do, especially our lovely, beautiful member who puts the pinned comment in the comment sections during every reading. I appreciate you. Okay, you know I love you, boo. And I love all of you guys, even if you're not members, even if you're just subscribers, even if you're somebody new who's coming to the channel and you just clicked on this video randomly and now I'm saying things that you don't understand how I know. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. It's a reason why you're here, and I'm glad that you guys, all of you guys, are here. Okay? If you want to book a reading, the link is in the description box below. Let me know in the comments if it's resonating. Share anything with your Pisces, fellow Pisces watching that you think they may need to hear. Look what popped out. The Temple Path. Ooh. Somebody's trying to lead you astray off your path. Okay? Some of you may feel like Spirit has left you or God has left you and forsaken you in a situation. But that's not necessarily true. Okay? We have 27 at the bottom, walking away, and envy, number 20. Okay? So let's see what this is about, honey. Okay, because reading is fundamental. Let's see what this is about. First of all, walking away. This is like what you're doing coming into this energy. Look at that, victory. 28 and 30. And then we have the garden and the gate. Two cards that signify walking through a gate. Okay. You know you have to leave a place, a person, a thing, a situation behind in order to have victory. You just know. You know that in order to have something, do something, achieve something, and be successful at whatever it is, you have to get out of a comfort zone. You have to leave a set of behaviors, habits, beliefs that you've stuck or held on to that stuck to you for way too long. And you know what it's going to take to make you victorious or to achieve whatever it is that you set out to do. You know what you need to do, and you know what it's going to look like. But it's very hard, and people underestimate. I'm never going to tell you not to feel how you feel. I'm going to tell you the rational part of your emotions that you may not want to face, but I'm never going to tell you that you shouldn't feel how you feel. Okay? And this is a situation where you could teeter-totter on the edge of these cliffs, right? And this could be a very sensitive time because you may have a lot of influences or, spirits, entities, energies around you that want to provoke you into doing something that would actually be a detriment to you. Because if I was to take that right turn, right, just say, for example, somebody did come up behind me and they were beeping at me, go, 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 impatient, wanted me to go. What does that symbolize? That symbolizes a situation where I'm now, I'm now crumbling to the pressure. I'm succumbing to the pressure of another person, of another person's will. I'm letting their power and their will and their intentions overpower and dominate mine at my own detriment, just to appease somebody who could give a fuck about me and whether or not I have the ability to drive my car, have a license, and be able to move around freely. They want to dominate me and overpower me as to control my free will, so that it basically puts me in a position where I could possibly lose my ability to make my own decisions and have free will. And it's hard. Because a lot of times people who are impatient, we experience this. If you drive or have driven before, you've more than likely experienced an impatient person who doesn't want to let it go. And even though you would like to let them go and you would like to maybe switch places with them, let them be in front and you be behind them and let them go on about their business. Sometimes in those types of situations, you can't do that. And you got to stand strong on your boundaries. You have to stand strong on the no's, the answers that are no, the decisions that you've made that are final, the things that you're just not going to do. And it can be very difficult because that pressure is very strong from a person who is coming so hard with that energy. But me not seeing that police officer sitting at the light, and if somebody were to come behind me, that would have basically been me choosing to let go of the ropes, to let go of anything that was anchoring me to safety and security, and basically fall to the unknown of the metaphorical cliff that I was seeing in my mind. And that's what Spirit is trying to prevent you from doing. But you know that you have to leave something behind, and the teeter-tottering on the edge of that cliff, not feeling stable, not feeling secure, not being sure 100% of the time is what I feel like you guys are kind of dealing with either right now or what you've dealt with recently in the past before coming to this reading. Now, the walking away card says letting go and moving on. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. She is closing the gate behind her and is walking away into a misty, unknown future. This card upright represents or reveals, child, that it could be time for you to make a similar decision. There may be something that you're finished with, perhaps a career goal, a relationship, or a long-term experience of any kind. The familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options on the open road ahead. In reality, an important... Wait. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Okay, so the familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options on the open road ahead. In reality, an important new beginning is at hand. This card also indicates that now would be a good time to let go of any old habit, emotional pattern, or false belief. No matter how deeply ingrained a negative pattern may be, you now have the power to release it and move on to a freer, healthier way of thinking and relating to yourself and others. Whether it's an inner or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and resources to walk away from the old and move forward now, okay? So this is also a situation of, hey, If things were moving quickly and then they all of a sudden started to slow down or become stagnant after they had already been stagnant, and you're feeling kind of frustrated because you're like, dang, I thought things were starting to move forward. I thought I was moving forward. Spirit is protecting you, like, hey, get all of it out your system. We might be slowing you down because you did a little hesitation right there, and we just making sure you're ready. Okay, that's also what it could be. Now, with 27, that's what? That's a 9. All right. It kind of feels like backtracking because you had 28 and then we backtracked to 27. We had 30, 28, and 27. It kind of feels like you might have to reinforce some things. Okay, possibly a little bit of backtracking, but it's not like something devastating. That's not what I feel, but I kind of feel like maybe there was some hesitation. Now, the Temple Path says spiritual purpose and support. Now, upright, the card says that receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's process. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways. And connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. Now, this is true. Nothing, even if I read the reverse, is going to negate this, but I'm going to read the reverse to let you know what's going on. Now, reverse, this card is a sign that you may have fallen off your path. You could be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. Whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. Okay. Before I even read the book, reading is fundamental. So clear your mind, meditate, and open up to the presence of spirit. Whatever else you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. Tactical. The support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. Ooh, not spirit reading down. It's like they said, not turning to these supportive entities and countless loving spirits is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. That don't make no damn sense. And for a lot of you guys, I don't necessarily feel like I feel like it's a combination of all these things, but intuitively, I really felt like somebody was trying to convince you that you didn't have love and support, or there was maybe a spirit around you, an entity around you, an energy around you of maybe other people's feelings and the entities and spirits that have jumped on them, or, other people's thoughts and emotions that you're picking up on intuitively, or somebody who's just really being negative towards you. I feel like, this card is representing those situations or thoughts that try to lead you astray. And as you're making these decisions, because these two cards correlate, especially with the reverse of the Temple Path, co-signing walking away, it kind of feels like somebody is trying to make you feel like you're not going down the right path. You are. There's just a protection mechanism in place to kind of keep you in a holding pattern, So maybe you can build up momentum, or so maybe you can rev your engine or do whatever you need to do, or that they can remove obstacles and blockages so that your pathway is cleared. That's what it feels like to me. So whether this is you telling yourself falsehoods and not believing in what spirit is trying to guide you towards seeing, or whether this is other outside influences trying to make you feel as if you don't know what's going on, or you can't see the truth, or as if you're on the wrong path, whatever that is, it's like they want to make you aware of it so that you don't get lost in the sauce. And this could definitely be something materialistic because you have the envy card coming right after that. Okay. So now with the envy card, this is crazy because this lady is sitting here with all these beautiful things and all these riches. All she got to do is clean up her house a little bit and dust that shit off. Get her little, what's that wood? I can't remember what the wood cleaner is that dusts off the wood and stuff like that. Listen, she looking at somebody else's house as if she ain't got a house too. Anyway, it says lack and dissatisfaction. This card shows a woman holding a huge pearl. Look at that big old pearl. Holding a huge pearl in one hand and a platter of coins and pearls in the other. She stands in a silver room, looking out at a golden city on the horizon. She has a life of value already, but she ignores that and longs for the shining prosperity she sees elsewhere. Instead of feeling happy and fulfilled, her desire for more only causes a deep sense of lack and dissatisfaction. And that energy shows in her dress. Meaning that bitch is looking frumpy, okay? She looking like she can't keep it together. She ain't putting it together. She ain't putting that shit on. And she needs to, okay? She looking frumpy in her dress. This card upright is telling you to let go of the jealousy and acknowledge the blessings you already have in your life. Now is the time to shift your focus. After all, when you envy others, it only attracts more to them, not you. Notice all that you have and thank the universe for it. If this card is near the appreciation card in your spread, the message is doubly important, which luckily is not. But anyway, still, it's important. Now is the time to move from a consciousness of lack to one of value. With this shift, all things change. Okay? So it's about realizing what you have versus lamenting over what you don't have. It's about showing gratitude, being grateful, and it's about ignoring these motherfuckers who are beeping behind you in the proverbial existence of your life. Let them motherfuckers beep. Let them be mad. If they want to run the red light, they can run the red light. They're going to have to figure out a way to get around you, but they can run the red light. Now, if you are in a position where, say, you're on the highway and you driving in the fast lane on the left side and other people want to get around you and you being stubborn because you don't want to get over to the right, you got to cut that shit out. But for a lot of you guys, I don't feel that energy. For a lot of you guys, it feels like this is a situation where it's kind of like Spirit is saying, are you sure? Are you positive? Without a shadow of a doubt. They want you to move forward because you're going into some type of maybe unknown territory, or you're going into situations where people are wanting to provoke you and push you to do things that would signify jumping into the frying pan to see if the grease is hot. So they want you to burn and get popped and, go through all the problems so that they don't have to, so that they can look and see, oh, the grease is hot. They want you to let go of the foundation that you have or the rooting within what you know to be true to succumb to the pressure that they're putting on you to just let go of the ropes and fall down in the cliff so that they can see, oh, wow, the cliff is deep. You know what I mean? Like, and I know there's a little meme that's out there with the, is it buffaloes? I don't know if it's buffaloes. It's some type of land-dwelling animal or a hippo or something. I don't know. But it's like the buffaloes are close to the edge of the water, and it's like an alligator in the water. And there's like, I don't know. It's like they're arguing about whether or not the alligator is a log or if it's an alligator. And one of the buffaloes is like, well, why don't you go check and see? Like, why don't you just, poke it one time and see if it's real? And then that motherfucker get ate up. right? And the one who said, why don't you poke it and see, watches the other buffalo get ate up. Then he takes his place. And he's standing there knowing that the buffalo just got ate up, knowing that the log is not a log, that in fact it's an alligator. And here come another buffalo talking about, is that an alligator? And now the one who provoked the first one into going off the cliff is now being provoked by the new person, the new buffalo, to go see if it's real and questioning. Now the buffalo that watched that motherfucker get ate up is questioning whether or not it's a log or an alligator, knowing damn well it's an alligator. But they're letting this new person who don't know what's going on convince them that they don't know what they already know. I don't know if any of y'all seen that meme, but I did. And it definitely represents kind of the energy of this situation. And I feel like with this envy card, Spirit is basically telling you, like, it may look, I don't know, it's like something about illusions as well, because it may look like, and I did pick up on that when the police officer kind of like, his car just kind of appeared. I promise you, listen, you gonna believe me or you not, but y'all who know me know that I don't be coming and telling y'all nothing for no reason. And literally, the police officer, it just felt like he just appeared. I just looked up and he was there. Like, bitch, where did you come from? And it's those types of things. It's like the spotlight is on you, or there's some type of extreme scrutiny that you guys could be under right now, either known or unknown, from, reinforcements and supportive sources, or from, negative sources that want to see you flounder. Okay, flounder, Little Mermaid. There could be something there. But there are people who want to see you succeed, and there are people who want to see you fail. And they're all watching to see what you're going to do. And your spirit team is trying to protect you because they know that somebody is doing underhanded things to hopefully get you to fail. Okay? And they don't want you to do that. So they're telling you, hey, look, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you see through the cracks. We're trying to help you see past the illusions. And if, it's up to you. It's like they can't force you to listen. They can't force you to watch the reading all the way through, okay, to see if there's anything you need to know. They can't force you to do what they're suggesting that you do. They can only present the suggestion, and you have to decide to use your free will to take it or to refuse it and turn it down, okay? Let's see what else. Spirit. For Pisces, what do they need to know when it comes to these messages? We have thrills, continuous cycles, bad decisions, addiction. Okay. Salty, bitter, angry, and petty. Epiphany, self-reflection, answer questions, untapped talents. I just got a message that somebody is salty, they're bitter, they're angry, they're being petty, they're jealous, or they're envious because you're at... Ooh, not that big loud ass beep. Excuse me. It was the Walmart truck. W plus. Somebody could have a W in their name. Anyway, there's a person who's, I feel like, also looking at you and what you are creating, what you have, in an envious way, in a jealous way, in a bitter way. They're feeling very salty because you've realized that you need to walk away from a comfort zone, or you need to walk away from a certain set of beliefs. And the reason why they're upset about it is because whatever you believed, or whatever situations that you allowed to perpetuate in your life, whatever provocation that you allowed to run rampant in your space and kind of trample all over your couch, fuck your couch, nigga, okay? It was benefiting this person. You being in this cycle, you staying in this gated area, not allowing yourself to run free, not allowing yourself to expand, not allowing yourself to ascend, grow, and improve, benefited this person. You making bad decisions, you crumbling to the pressure of addiction, you continuing to repeat the same things over and over again, the beliefs that you have, what you feel like is right, what you feel like is wrong, the fact that you feel like you got to be nice, the fact that you feel like you got to turn the other cheek, the fact that you feel like you just got to pray for that person and it's going to be all right, but they can stay in your life fucking around and messing up your couch, putting their dirty boots all on your couch, but all you got to do is pray and it'll pray it away. All of those beliefs that you had were benefiting this person. And the reason why they're salty is because they know that you're about to build something that they can't access. They know that these changes and transformations and assimilations and alchemizations that you guys are participating in are going to take you to a place that they cannot access, because it means that your beliefs are changing. It means that you're not falling for the same okey doke ass bullshit. It means that you guys are not doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result and being in the defined version of insanity that this person would like to create for you. So the way that they have to do it is to get you to turn around, to get you distracted from where you're going, to get you to look back and give them an opportunity to make you feel as if you're not walking on the right path, to make you feel as if you're not making any progress, to make you feel as if you should turn around, when in reality, Spirit is like, nah. We got this. We moving we cleaning the street. Okay? We cleaning the street. Let us go ahead and plow and shovel and put the salt down and clean the street. And that's why it's like this epiphany is not just happening for you, but this epiphany is also happening for these people who realize they can't play you like they used to be able to play you. They can't manipulate you the way they used to manipulate you. They can't create illusions and project illusions in your life the way that they used to be able to do. Because now you're moving to a place where you're not allowing for that to affect you. And it's putting them at a detriment to where they're going to be looking at what you got and they're going to be looking at what you're creating and they have a problem with it. That's the same energy. They want to trick it though. Okay? Because this is the energy that they're already in the current moment. You're in this walking away energy at the current moment. And I feel like a lot of you need to realize that they're trying to flip flop it on you. They want to be able to tap into your power or to have some type of connection or access to the power that you're untapping within yourself, to the power that you're basically bringing to life within yourself. And they're salty right now because they know it's coming. They want to trick you and flip it on you to where you're salty later because they were able to take it from you. And by you not realizing how much you actually have the power to do, and by you not realizing how much this actually affects you and what you can do to prevent it, that's how they're going to get you in that position of having coins, having riches, having material wealth, having prosperity and joy in your life that's deeper than material wealth, and thinking that you have nothing. Okay, listen. I just give what Spirit tell me to give. Now, what else for Pisces when it comes to this situation? Woo. Look at that. This poverty card just love coming out lately. This could be a masculine energy. Okay. Some of you may be a masculine energy. Okay. Ooh, sudden wealth. And then we have wealthy man. Yeah, that's the masculine energy. I feel like some of y'all are coming into some type of wealth that looks lucky or seems lucky, but I keep getting this energy with this 11 and just in general with all of the times that I've been doing readings lately. It's like, I think I did a short where the sudden wealth card came out and the official person came out and high honor or something like that, child. It just feels like people think or want to believe that whatever good fortune that you're coming into in your life is like, oh, you just hit the lottery. Oh, you just had this stroke of luck. Oh, you just got lucky. You didn't do any work. You don't have any talent. If you didn't get lucky, you wouldn't have got this. And it's just like, please sit down. Please go sit somewhere in the corner and sit down. That's what either you're thinking this about yourself and you need to tell that ugly voice, that big back ugly voice bitch to go sit down, or you need to push somebody out into the ethers away from you with your repellent protective energy so that they can go in the corner somewhere and sit the fuck down. Somebody just threw something in the trash. Message. Now, this is something that somebody is like taking from nothing to something. Okay. This is some type of wealth that you may feel like you don't deserve, or you may feel like you didn't work for it, but I feel like you did on a more energetic level, on a more magical level. All right. You worked for it and you're receiving it. And that's why people may see it as sudden wealth or like a lucky break, because in reality, it is kind of lucky, but it's also not. It's like you put in the work and you may have sacrificed a lot of things that you really rightfully deserved in the effort of creating peace or in the effort of creating a more seamless existence. And maybe you didn't fight the person who was fighting you tooth and nail. Maybe you just walked away from a lot of situations. Maybe you left a lot of money or resources or, accolades on the table. And it's like you're getting replenished and you're getting recharged and you're getting reimbursed in a different way. So it appears as if you didn't really have to work for it, but you actually have worked for it. And it's something that you don't necessarily have to pay back, but that you can return tenfold. Like you can use your testimony and your story to help other people to see like how this works. All right. I feel like a lot of you guys are about to have a lot of connections when it comes to what you're moving into, what you're working towards, or what you're about to gain. You're about to have a lot of connections. Okay. Or you have made a lot of connections, and those connections are helping to basically propel you forward. It's like now you're meeting all these people that help propel you forward and help you along your journey and your path. Now, with that as well, I've been watching this show, Billy the Kid. I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but not all of these connections are going to be good connections. Be mindful of the connections that you've made with people over time that lead you back into these repetitive cycles, or that you believe that you have to stay loyal to, or you believe you have some type of obligation to, when really you don't. Because there's a strong message here of someone trying to lead you astray or someone trying to lead you off your path, right? So some of you guys in the show Billy the Kid, oh Lord, I don't know if it's actually accurate to what this man was supposed to be, but just the way they portray him in the show is definitely a kid who's very smart, very resourceful, very talented, very gifted, but that gets either forced in situations, or feels obligated to people in situations, and it's not always to his benefit. It's a lot of times to his detriment. And he's actually a good person, but the way that people make him out to be is very negative and bad, because a lot of people are kind of just salty, right? And the way they portray him in the show is of somebody who wants to be clean, of crime or criminal activity, who wants to go straight. And he got into the situations he got into because people kind of wronged him, and the people who were supporting him were also being kind of like punished and persecuted and things like that. I'm on season 2, child. I ain't got to season 3, but it's a pretty decent show, and it's not too long. Like the episodes aren't too long, but it's just a theme where it's like he constantly got this energy or this entity that's chasing him down, that's beating down his block all the time, and just cannot let him be great. He just wants to have peace. He just wants to be in a happy situation, or a situation where he can just live his life. And he gets these like brief moments of happiness. There's these brief moments of hope and joy, but they're constantly like connected or followed by all of this negativity. And it just kind of makes him very downtrodden. Like it makes him very like pessimistic and negative about himself and the way he sees himself and his life. And there have been times where he's just kind of like gone into the dark side because he couldn't take it. And then there's times where he's really determined to succeed and like be a better person. And it's just a lot of fights that he has to face. And this little boy reminded me of him, and the way that they portray him. And in the show, there are a lot of people who he ends up getting caught up with, even though he tries not to, that want to use his gifts and his talents and his abilities for their own personal gain. And for a long time, he kind of just let it happen because he was in survival mode. He didn't realize his power. He was being disempowered by the people around him who called themselves friends and supporters and confidants. But in reality, they were just users and abusers. And some of you guys are in a position where I feel like you guys are dealing with a lot of situations, people, places, things that have the potential in this very fragile time to lead you astray, that spirit doesn't want you to necessarily feel obligated to. just because they may have done something for you in the past, or just because it offered you some type of solace or reassurance or peace in the past. It's like they want you to see that it may have been a false reassurance. It may have been a false alignment. It may have been a false ally or something like that. That really isn't in your best interest, or that really doesn't help you. It just kind of keeps you repeating the same cycles over and over again, and dealing with the same things over and over again, and then wishing that you had a different life. Instead of you seeing that you have power to create the life that you want, and then taking actionable steps to reach those, conclusions. All of those things are what Spirit kind of wants you to see in this message. With the 37, that's a 10. And with 13, that's a 4. I feel like you guys are building stable, healthy foundations with people who actually have your back, so that you don't have to kind of like always look over your shoulder. Whatever this wealth is that's coming into your life is something that you don't necessarily have to like feel guilty about. That's what I feel like. They don't want you to have imposter syndrome or feel guilty about this. It's also 777 on the card, and this is a 7 of Pentacles. So there possibly some delays or a slowdown that you're experiencing, because Spirit, really, they're trying to clear the way. They want to allow you to have what it is that you deserve to have, so that you don't have any loose ends. Okay. What is it that Pisces needs to know, Spirit? There we go. Ooh! The 6 of Wands, baby. Okay? Because I'm on shoulders, chest, pants, shoes. Okay? I'll pull up at the club. Let me stop. Anyway, that song is about showboating a lot. Okay? Like bragging, showing off. 6 of Wands energy is kind of like that. But if you listen to the song, it's also the Wipe Me Down song is like classic Atlanta. Okay. Listen, that type of music is everything, because listen, they wasn't just rapping. They was rapping. They had verses. They had a chorus. They had the bridge, and they had all the stuff at the end. Okay. Listen, it was music, but it was different. It was the different wave. You know what I'm saying? But it was still foundationally indicative of classic music. Okay. And in that song, it is a lot about bragging and showboating and let me step in here and show y'all exactly who you messing with. It was a lot of that, but it was also this confidence in the power that you hold. And it's funny that I said my gas tank was on E, but he said that I pull up at the club, VIP, gas tank on E, but all drinks on me, wipe it down. Hey, come on. I know y'all was getting to it. Go on ahead and listen to it in the car. Go on ahead and listen to it on your way home or whatever. Okay? Go on and put it on your phone. Put it on the TV. Put the music video on. Whatever you got to do. Go on ahead and listen to it and see how hyped up you be after that song. Okay? Because I was in the car like, yes, let me go get these cucumbers, bitch. Okay? And that, I feel like Spirit wants you to get excited. They just want you to be excited. They don't want you to be thinking about all this negative shit that people want you to keep thinking about. They don't want you to be in these positions where you just think that your life is so bad, because really in reality it's not. And this is a situation where it's like the 6 of Wands comes after what? The 5 of Wands. So this crab in the barrel, crab in the bucket, whatever in the frying pan, all these people jumping out one frying pan into another, that energy, you're overcoming it. That's what the 6 of Wands is saying. You're having a victory over it. The victory is here. You've already succeeded for a lot of y'all. And now it's just a little bit of a waiting period. We in the waiting room. Waiting for our name to be called. You got all your paperwork. You signed all the documents. You read the terms and conditions. You checked it off. You initialed. Now you got everything in order. You got your little folder. You just sitting there waiting. You just watching a little TV. They probably got some HGTV on in there. They probably got something playing where they, finding people houses or whatever. You know how they play it in the doctor's office. They just be playing random stuff. And you just got to sit down and relax. You just got to sit down and chill. Stop walking around, pacing around. Sit your ass down. And let them go ahead and get your paperwork. Let them check you in. And then they're going to call your name. But right now, the waiting room is it's hot. It might be uncomfortable. Maybe they ain't got nothing on the TV. Maybe a baby is crying over there. Maybe a baby is acting crazy. And, you got patience for, parents and babies. But maybe this baby's mama just don't care about them. They on their phone. They're not paying attention to their baby. You know what I'm saying? Like irritating shit like that going on. Somebody coughing, and it's just like, oh, I wish they would just call my name. And you're thinking, okay, I can hold on for so long, but I'm starting to get frustrated. It's hot. I'm tired. I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm jumping out my skin. Why don't I just leave and come back another time? That's the metaphor of what's going on in your life right now. And Spirit is trying to tell you no. They're trying to tell you stop that shit. Stop talking yourself into, oh, I'll come back another time when it's less busy. Because the next time when you come back, it's going to be even more motherfuckers in there. And it's going to be even hotter. And it's going to be even more babies acting up and crying. And it's going to be more Karens in there getting mad at everybody. And it's going to be worse. You've already overcome this. You have won. There is a victory here. You've successfully made it to this point. Don't just hand over your victory. Don't just hand over your celebration. At the bottom, the Queen of Pentacles. A lot of you guys are very resourceful. A lot of you guys have the ability to make something out of nothing. A lot of you guys have the ability to materialize from the ethers matter that is non-existent and cultivate it into duplication, all those things. You can multiply like rabbits multiply. Okay? And a lot of you guys are very good parents, especially you mothers. Okay, especially you melanated mothers. I ain't got nothing against the Caucasians. What I'm saying is, it's at your core. Even if you're not melanated, whatever your ancestors have instilled within you, in your bones, in your heart, in your soul, in the spirit, in what moves you, is something of value to where you have passed this on not only to your children, whether you have children or not, but you've passed it on to everybody who you touch and all the lives of the people who you meet. There is no denying the fact that you are going to be victorious or that you are victorious in whatever this situation is. Now, we got the King of Wands. Who is this motherfucker? And what do they want? Okay. Ace of Swords, you know the truth. You know your value. You know what it is. You know the stairs you got to climb. You know how far you climbed up until this point. You know you deserve to be here, standing on whatever platform that you're on. Okay, now here come this folk. This folk, who are you, catching you off guard. They want to put an end to this abundance. They want something that you got. I feel like they want to cause some type of confusion, child. What is the Six of Wands? Ooh, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. See, this is just the beginning for some of you guys. Y'all are in the waiting room. What was that? The upper room? Anyway, y'all are in the waiting room of something really big. And I feel like y'all are protected. Y'all are prepared. There are signs and synchronicities, physical signs that you can see. Physical synchronicities, things that just happen that don't make no sense, like that horn beeping earlier in this reading when I was saying what I was saying. This is you being excited. This should be an exciting time for you because the potential of your progress is so strong, and it's really connected to your physical body, and it's connected to your spirit, like what drives you, what makes you move within your core. Okay, we have the Star card and the Queen of Pentacles again. Aquarius energy. Some of y'all, there could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, strong Leo energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Very significant. I said Taurus earlier. But there's a connection that you have with the universe, with God, with source, with spirit. It's a cord that they want you to know cannot be broken. It's something that you have to nourish because it's something that can't be like, it can't necessarily be all on spirit to make you believe. or to give you these signs and omens and synchronicities. It's not all on them. You have to nourish the relationship with them just like they want to nourish the relationship with you. But it's a cord that can never be broken. It's a bond that can never be shaken, because at the end of the day, like, even when we do wrong and we do things that we feel may not be necessarily good or right, and it's kind of questionable, that's your conscience, which comes from consciousness. And even if people try to act like they don't have a conscience, it always shows up at one point or another. And if they're very stubborn people, it's usually when they get extremely old or they're about to die. So this kind of feels like a situation where Spirit is asking you to focus on what we're telling you. Focus on what we have going on. Focus on what we're showing you. Because we're showing you that you've already cultivated this victory. And not only did you do it with our help, but a lot of your power went into cultivating whatever this victory is for yourself. Nobody else did it for you. And I feel like the only thing that they want you to focus on are, like I said earlier, the things that reinforce your power, the things that reinforce your optimism, the things that reinforce you being positive on a moment by moment, day by day basis. They don't want you to get off track looking at things that you don't have, or looking at things that other people have, or looking at the illusions that people project outward for other people to see. They don't want you to hear the horn beeping behind you. They want you to drown out the horn of the person beeping behind you. They want you to drown out the pressure that you feel from people pushing you off the cliff. They want you to drown out the baby crying and drown out the Karen talking shit. They want you to drown out the person coughing and imagine yourself in a healthy protective bubble while you sitting in this waiting room, because you've gained your seat. You've earned your seat in this waiting room. It's people standing up. It's people outside the door. They can't even get in. It's people in the hallway. It's people that's sitting at home waiting because they can't even get an appointment. But you're in the waiting room in the motherfucking chair. And they're telling you, do not give up your seat. Move your meat. Lose your goddamn seat. Let me get another deck. Don't be fucking stupid. Like and subscribe while I get this deck. Hold on. Like and subscribe. Don't let these motherfuckers trick you off your square. Or your triangle or your circle or whatever. Period. What else does Pisces need to know? Oh, look at that. Sit the fuck down. Don't get out your seat. Sit the fuck down. Ain't that crazy? Because usually when I made these cards, and damn, I meant to message you back or email you back. Child, it's been a lot going on. I do this by myself. So if y'all send me a message, please forgive me if it takes me a long time to respond. But somebody asked me if I'm selling these cards, and I attempted to sell these cards through the company where I made these cards, but they kept denying the cards from being approved for sale. Probably because it was a curse word in the cards. Child, I don't know. Listen, I'm not changing my cards. And I'm not selling the cards. So, unfortunately, at least at this particular moment in time, I'm not selling these cards. Somebody asked me, but can't do it. However, when I made this deck, interestingly enough, this is number 20 and that's number 20 as well. But when I made this deck, it's kind of like either Spirit is sitting you down. And I heard the City Girl song, sit me down, child. Anyway, but it's either Spirit is sitting you down or Spirit is telling somebody else, sit the fuck down. Like, stop doing whatever you're doing against the quarant or not the quarant, but the person who's getting the reading done. You. Okay? So it's either Spirit telling you to sit down and hold on, calm down, we got this, let us cook. Or it's either Spirit telling somebody else that they need to stop messing with you. So it's very funny where I was just talking about that. That's just, it's just things that tickle me. Divine Counterparts is at the bottom, 42, which is a 6. And then we have Be Real With Yourself, which is in sequential order in the near future with 21. 21, okay? Be real with yourself. Where you're moving forward, this is like not just divine counterparts when it talks about love. This is more so talking about divine counterparts when you address, you know, those connections that you have, the people who you meet in your life, even people who bring you some type of challenge or who bring you some type of hardship that you feel created a problem or could be quote unquote karmic in your life. They taught you a lesson. They, you know, the motherfucker who stole your lunch money at school, the motherfucker who said, can I ride your bike, and never came back. You get what I'm saying? Those type of people are divine counterparts, whether you like it or not. Right? Those type of people are soulmates. And people like to look at the positive part of divine counterparts and soulmates and twin flames and all that shit. But they don't want to actually look at it for the reality of what it is. And a lot of the people who you've encountered up until this point have been there for a reason, so that you can learn those lessons that you need to learn and be prepared to be ushered into the part of your life that you're being ushered into now. But as you move forward, that particular part of your life and those particular experiences that you gained with those divine counterparts, the cycle is over. It's like they're cycling out. And Spirit is telling you like, hey, now is the time for you to make decisions that will lead you towards a new set of divine counterparts, a new set of experiences, a new set of people, places, and things that are now congruent with and in alignment with the things that you're about to experience in your life moving forward. Ooh, Knight of Cups. He's sitting down too. He ready. So now we could look at this in a way where you are a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is the Knight of Cups. But he's sitting in the chair and he's prepared. He's come prepared with flowers. He got a horse back there. Maybe he ready to take you for a ride. Whatever the situation is, you know. Look at it however you want to look at it. But he's sitting down. He just ready. He just waiting. He like, hey, I'm here. I got the picnic set up down here in the corner. You know, we could take a ride later on the beach. We got some grapes. We got some wine. We got some fruits. I got a nice little letter for you. It's like Spirit kind of wants you to see this as the energy that's kind of welcoming you into this next phase. Or it's like they want to see yourself in this way of like being prepared to create any outcome that you want in your life. It definitely feels like, ooh, Two of Pentacles. It definitely feels like you got to make a decision though with that too. All these twos, 10 of Wands. Okay. There's a difference between what's real and what's fake. There's also a difference between what you believe you can achieve and what like you allow like to prevent you from achieving whatever that is. There's a decision that you guys have to make when it comes to how you look at situations, like how you imagine situations. You may be in a position where a decision could be difficult because you didn't necessarily expect everything that came along with it, but it doesn't mean that you can't do something. If there's a person here who is apologizing to you or putting you in a position where you feel like you have to make a difficult choice or a difficult decision, or they're trying to, again, make you feel obligated to continue down a path that has now expired in your life, it's like Spirit is telling you if the decision is too complicated or it's too difficult or you just don't know what to do, either don't do nothing at all, sit the fuck down, or bow out. I can't tell you what to do though, right? You got to make the best decision for you. But that's what I'm getting from this energy. And that's what I feel like Spirit wants y'all to know. Now, I'm going to pull one of these right here. Please, before you leave up out of here, like the video, guys. It is very helpful. And it makes sure that the energy continues to flow. And I appreciate you. So let's see. For Pisces. I know I'm very theatrical. But, you know, when I get to channeling, child, it just, you know, we got to make it entertaining, don't we? Yeah. We ain't no boring basic bitches over here. Okay, let me go. What is the advice? For Pisces, leadership in reverse. Wow. All right, what's at the bottom? Flow. Okay. Spirit is calling y'all motherfuckers out who don't like the video. Clock the T. Anyway, flow. Things happen when they are supposed to. This is a reminder from your angels to trust in the flow of the universe and to always follow your intuition when making decisions. With positive changes and opportunities on the horizon. Okay, Six of Wands kind of look like a horizon. Now is a great time for you to take action and move forward in your life. Now, this can either be a situation with this leadership in reverse where Spirit is saying not to be afraid to take the lead, or they're saying, hey, back up, hold on, let us plow the road, let us clear the road, let us cook for a minute, and let us take the lead, and you kind of just sit back and enjoy the ride. It could be either or both. Right? So leadership says my positive attitude influences others. So therefore that means your negative attitude influences others as well. Or other people's negative attitudes could be influencing you. Now, the angels remind you that you have the ability to accomplish anything and everything that you set your mind to in this life. It is critical for you to be able to discover this special gift and use it to help others in need. This could also be someone who shouldn't really be leading you, or someone you shouldn't really be taking advice from, who's trying to give you advice or force you to take their advice, or like influencing you down the wrong path, and you just need to be aware, right? That's why I tell y'all, go with what you know. Bitch, don't come over here put me on no pedestal thinking I know everything, because I don't, and I don't know you personally. So I can't necessarily say what's going on in your life and whether or not these messages are for you, whether or not they're going to resonate, whether or not you dealing with this. I can't say yay or nay whether or not that's true or false. You have to take the messages and be objective and be optimistic and use whatever you need to use and throw away whatever you don't. I can't tell you how to live your life. Don't come over here thinking that I'm going to give you all the answers. I want you to ask the questions and find the answers within you. And you can educate me if you want. Be respectful. Okay, that's all I ask. But you can educate me if you want. You can tell me whatever's on your mind. You can tell me things that I don't know, because I'm not going to know everything. So don't put me on a pedestal that's unrealistic and then try to knock me down when it don't work out the way you thought. Because that's some fuck bullshit. And you can go on with that shit. Okay? Because that's what a lot of people these days like to do. They like to put somebody on a pedestal, glorify them, raise them up, build their follower or subscriber, view count, whatever, and then be mad when they don't meet the unknown expectations of the people putting them on the pedestal, and then the motherfuckers who put them up there try to knock them down. Don't do that. And don't let anybody do it to you. And I mean, you really can't control it, but you can by listening to what Spirit is trying to tell you for the situations that you're going through in your own life. Okay? So again, either you're afraid to take the lead and Spirit wants you to have the confidence to take the lead, or you're being negative about a situation and they want you to be positive. Okay. Or they want you to take the back seat, let them cook, let them clear the road. Or they want you to stop listening to somebody who does not deserve or have the qualifications to lead you. Anyway, whatever that may be for you, child. Now at the back, we have grounding. I am steady and grounded. Your attention is directed up too high. Maybe you up in the clouds. As if you're not in your body. A balance is needed between a focus on spirit and a focus on earth. Grounding will help you to be better concentrated and focused. And will always, And will also always increase your connection to the angels. Okay? So they may be preparing you with any delays or any, I don't know. It could be because of hesitation, but any delays or, waiting periods, waiting rooms that you feel like you're in your life, it feels like this is so that you can become grounded. Not to say that you're not grounded, but I kind of feel like Spirit is confirming that some type of good news is coming in for sure. Ooh, excuse me. They're confirming that you successfully have victory in a situation, or you've successfully overcome something. And they want you to be grounded, because when you get to this next stage, when you receive this sudden wealth or happiness in your life, prosperity, good fortune, good luck, All the lights start to turn green. You get called to the back. You don't have to sit in the waiting room no more. It's like there gonna be other people who are in the back with you, and you gonna walk past their room and be like, oh my God, look at their room, it's so pretty. Oh my God, look at their room, it's so pretty. And you're gonna get there and your room is gonna be like bare and blank, and it might not look as pretty as the other people's room. But this is why Spirit doesn't want you to get sidetracked, because they're like, hey, look, we just brought your ass out that motherfucking waiting room. They're trying to slow down right now to let you get grounded. Because when you constantly want what you don't have, you never are happy with what you have. And what they're trying to show you is like, we're about to let you in. We about to let you come through the gate. We about to call your name to bring you to the back and show you where your room is at. But just like when you go to college or when you get to an office, your desk is empty. Your room is bare. That doesn't mean that your room is any less great than the other people's room. All y'all motherfuckers got the same size room. It's just that people have been there longer to where they've been able to decorate. Spirit wants you to see the room as the opportunity to create something, not to highlight what you feel like you lack. Because you're about to be in a room or a space where you're being allowed in, and it's not going to be the right time for you to compare yourself to other people and compete with other people and have this envious, jealous nature. Because that's just going to put you in the same low vibration that you were in before. And all you little raggedy demons that's trying to jump on your back is going to come and follow you in there. It's like that's going to open up the portal for them to see where you are and follow your ass in there and make your life a living hell when you in the back. And you don't want that. Because it's going to make you get complaints. People in the back are going to start saying, hey, this fucking Pisces need to go. They loud. This Pisces, they got some funky stanking up the room. We don't want that. And because everybody else already is falling in line, not to say that you're conforming to things that are negative, but because everybody else understands the assignment around you, if you don't walk the walk and talk the talk, and absorb what Spirit is showing you by these other examples, then you're going to get kicked the fuck out. And it's not going to be nobody's fault but yours. So look at it as the opportunity that you're moving in, and now you get to decorate. It's a blank slate. It's a clean slate. You get to decorate your space. And it's not about how they decorated theirs. And I'm not saying all of y'all feel like this, but you know, I got to explain and over explain, because sometimes motherfuckers out here watching readings and online is stupid. It's not about all that. It's about, what do you want to make of this room? How do you want to decorate your room? And as you decorate your room with that attitude in mind, with the right perspective, all the people who've been in there, they're going to see why they let you in. They're going to come over there and see you decorating and hammering shit and drilling shit in and, you know, gluing stuff together and building stuff. They're going to walk past and be like, hey, Pisces, what you doing in there? Let me see what you got going on. Oh, that's cute. Look at you. You coming along nicely. We so glad they let you in. That's what it needs to be. That's the type of energy that you need to be in. Anyway, I said what I said. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments. Let me know if it resonates. And if this reading helped you in a deep way, please consider donating. I really appreciate the super thanks and the super chats. But it is more helpful when you donate through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. All those links are below. If you can, I appreciate it. If not, just engage with the content, you guys. If you want to book your reading, that link is below as well. And I will see you guys next time. But most importantly, Pisces, remember, this is our circle, booze. Bye.